Secrets buried for decades. A courtroom revelation that stunned an entire town. What if everything you knew about someone you loved was a lie? This is the story of a 75-year-old grandmother who lost custody of her beloved granddaughter, only for the world to discover a shocking secret that turned their lives upside down. As the truth unfolded in front of the whole town, the question emerged: can love survive such a betrayal? Get ready to witness a tale where justice, identity, and family ties collide in a way you never expected. Stay with us until the end, as we uncover the truth that left everyone speechless. This is a story of forgiveness, resilience, and the unbreakable bond of family. One you won't want to miss. The small town of Fairview had always been a quiet place where everyone knew everyone. But that morning, in the courthouse, the tense silence was punctuated by curious murmurs echoing off the wooden walls. The fate of an entire family was about to be decided. Judge Thompson, a middle-aged woman with a stern demeanor and inquisitive eyes, adjusted her glasses and looked at the elderly woman seated at the defendant's bench. Margaret Johnson, known to all as Mrs. Maggie, sat there with trembling hands and tear-filled eyes. At 75 years old, Maggie was facing the biggest battle of her life: the custody of her granddaughter, Emily. Emily, a 10-year-old girl with curly brown hair and curious eyes, sat beside her mother, Sarah. Sarah had a look of relief mixed with anguish. Emily's father, John, had been absent since a car accident 2 years earlier. Since then, Sarah and Maggie had been fighting for custody of the girl, each claiming to have Emily's best interests at heart. The tension in the room was palpable as Sarah's lawyer, the renowned Amanda Davis, stood up to make her final statement. "Your Honor, it is in Emily's best interest to remain in the care of her mother, Sarah. The family bonds, emotional stability, and healthy environment that Sarah can provide are essential for the child's well-being. Mrs. Johnson, while a loving grandmother, is of an advanced age, and with all due respect, her abilities to care for an active and growing child are limited." Maggie's lawyer, a thin, serious man named David Reed, rose next. "Your Honor, my client has dedicated her life to her granddaughter since the death of her son, John. She has been a pillar of stability and love for Emily. We argue that removing Emily from the home she knows and loves will cause irreparable emotional harm." Judge Thompson's eyes scanned the room, observing the expressions of those present before resting again on Maggie. "Mrs. Maggie, would you like to add anything before I render my decision?" Maggie took a deep breath, her trembling hands gripping the edge of the bench. "Yes, Your Honor. Everything I've done out of love for Emily. She is my life. I know my age may be a concern, but my heart, my love, and my dedication to her are unwavering." The judge nodded, thanking Maggie before retiring to deliberate. The room buzzed with low, anxious conversations. Sarah looked at her mother with a mixture of defiance and sadness, while Emily held her grandmother's hand, her big, innocent eyes seeking comfort. When Judge Thompson returned, the room fell silent. "After considering all the arguments presented and the best interests of the child, I have decided that custody of Emily will be granted to her mother, Sarah Parker." A collective sigh swept through the room. Sarah hugged Emily, tears of relief streaming down her face. Maggie, heartbroken, felt her world crumble around her. But before she could process the pain of the loss, Judge Thompson added, "However, new facts have emerged during this process that need further investigation. Mrs. Margaret Johnson, you are hereby called to provide new testimony regarding your identity." The revelation hit the courtroom like a bombshell. Everyone was stunned, especially Maggie, who knew her deepest secret was about to be unveiled. Margaret looked around, seeing the expressions of surprise and curiosity on the faces of those present. Sarah, still holding Emily, appeared confused and somewhat relieved. Amanda Davis, Sarah's attorney, gave Maggie a stern look, while David Reed, Maggie's lawyer, frowned with concern. In the courtroom, everyone awaited the unfolding events with bated breath. Maggie, feeling the weight of her secret about to be revealed, looked at Emily with a mixture of love and worry. Sarah, trying to process the situation, gripped her daughter's hand tightly as the attorneys prepared their next moves. In the days following the trial, the town of Fairview was abuzz with gossip. The revelation about Maggie's true identity spread like wildfire, and everyone wanted to know more. Maggie's quaint little cottage at the end of Maple Street became an unwelcome focal point of attention. Sarah and Emily tried to resume a normal routine, but the shadow of the trial and the revelation loomed over them. Sarah knew she would have to face her mother again, and the new investigation could change everything. Emily began to sense the tension around her. At school, her classmates asked uncomfortable questions and treated her differently. Feeling lost, she sought comfort in the few visits she still made to her grandmother's house. Maggie tried to maintain her calm and dignity. She knew the truth was about to come out, but she didn't want it to affect Emily any further. The visits from her granddaughter were the moments of greatest joy for her, even though she knew that each goodbye could be the last before the truth surfaced. David Reed worked tirelessly to uncover more details about the investigation. He knew the revelation could be devastating for Maggie and was determined to protect her. He spent hours sifting through old records and trying to find any information that could be used in Maggie's favor. Amanda Davis, on the other hand, saw the investigation as an opportunity. She was determined to ensure that Sarah would gain permanent custody of Emily. Amanda began digging into Maggie's past, looking for any clues that could be used in court. Sarah was torn. Although she desperately wanted custody of Emily, she also loved her mother and feared the impact the revelation could have on the family. She tried to balance her emotions while facing the pressure of being a good mother to Emily. One day, while Maggie and Emily were together in the garden of Maggie's house, Emily asked, "Grandma, why are people saying strange things about you? Did you do something wrong?" Maggie felt her heart tighten but smiled tenderly. "No, sweetheart. Sometimes people ask questions and make conclusions without knowing the whole truth. What matters is that I love you, and I will always love you, no matter what happens." Emily hugged her grandmother tightly, feeling a wave of fear and confusion. Meanwhile, the police investigation began to uncover shocking details about Maggie's past. It was discovered that over 40 years ago, Margaret Johnson did not exist. Maggie's real name was Helen Adams, a woman who mysteriously disappeared after a major fraud scandal and identity theft. The revelation hit David hard. He knew this could destroy any chance of Maggie maintaining a normal relationship with Emily. He rushed to Maggie's house to tell her what he had discovered. "Maggie, we need to talk," David said, entering the living room with a concerned look. Maggie knew this moment would come, but she still felt a chill down her spine. "David, what did you find out?" "Maggie, your real name is Helen Adams. There are records of fraud and disappearance. They're going to use this against you in court." Maggie sighed, feeling the weight of the past falling on her. "I knew this day would come. I can't hide anymore, David. I need to tell the truth, for Emily." Meanwhile, Sarah was also learning more about her mother's past through Amanda. She was shocked to discover Maggie's true identity and felt a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. Sarah decided to confront her mother. "Mom, is it true? Are you not who you say you are?" Sarah asked, entering Maggie's house with tears in her eyes. Maggie looked at her daughter, knowing she couldn't lie anymore. "Yes, Sarah, it's true. I was Helen Adams. I fled a dark past to protect you and Michael. But I've always been your mother. That never changed." Sarah broke down in tears, feeling betrayed and confused. She loved her mother, but the revelation shook all her certainties. The tension in the town was palpable. Neighbors began avoiding Maggie, and rumors ran rampant. Emily sensed the change but didn't fully understand what was happening. She just wanted everything to go back to normal. David Reed decided to call an emergency meeting with Maggie and Sarah. He knew the only way to face the situation was together, as a family. "We need to be honest with each other and find a way to move forward. The truth about Helen Adams doesn't change the love Maggie has for Emily," David argued. Sarah, still in shock, reluctantly agreed. She knew that despite everything, her mother had always loved her and cared for Emily with all her heart. Maggie finally decided to tell Emily the whole truth, in a way that the little girl could understand. She knew it would be difficult, but it was the only way to rebuild trust. "Emily, my dear, I need to tell you something very important. Before I was your grandma, I was someone else. But everything I did was to protect you and your mother. I love you more than anything in the world," Maggie said, with tears in her eyes. Emily, with her childlike wisdom, hugged her grandmother and responded, "It doesn't matter who you were, Grandma. I love you just the same." The news of Margaret Johnson's true identity, actually Helen Adams, spread quickly. The once quiet town of Fairview was now immersed in gossip and speculation. Everyone wanted to know more about Maggie's past and how it would impact the custody battle over Emily. In the courtroom, the atmosphere was thick with tension. All eyes were on Maggie as she prepared to tell her story. Judge Thompson, with a grave expression, began the session. "Mrs. Margaret Johnson, or Helen Adams, we ask that you tell us the whole truth about your identity and the events that led you to assume a new life." Maggie took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. She looked at Emily, who was sitting beside Sarah, and began to speak. "Before I was Margaret Johnson, I was Helen Adams. When I was young, I got involved in a fraud scheme to help my family, who was in financial trouble. I was manipulated by powerful people and ended up being framed for a crime I didn't commit. To escape a ruined life and protect my children, I took on a new identity and ran away. I did all of this to protect my children, to give them a chance at a better life. I know I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving my family," Maggie said, tears welling in her eyes. David Reed intervened to highlight Maggie's character and dedication over the years. He presented testimonials from neighbors and friends who confirmed Maggie's love and care for Emily. "Mrs. Maggie has always been a person of impeccable character, caring for Emily with all the love and attention a grandmother could offer. Her past, though troubled, does not change the fact that she is a central figure in Emily's life," David argued. Amanda Davis, Sarah's attorney, seized the opportunity to emphasize the risks of leaving Emily in the care of someone with a criminal past. "Your Honor, despite the love Mrs. Maggie may have for Emily, we cannot ignore the risks associated with leaving a child in the care of someone with such a compromising past. Emily's stability and safety must be our priority," Amanda stated firmly. Sarah, still struggling to process the truth about her mother, stood to speak. She was torn between her love and loyalty to Maggie and her desire to protect Emily. "Mom, I love you. But all of this is so hard to understand. I just want what's best for Emily," Sarah said, her voice breaking. Judge Thompson paused to consider the arguments from both sides. She knew that the decision would be difficult and have a profound impact on everyone involved. "We will take a recess for deliberation. We will return in an hour with the final decision," the judge announced. During the break, Maggie and Sarah had an honest and painful conversation. Emily, sensing the tension, stayed by her grandmother's side, holding her hand. Sarah finally found the strength to forgive her mother. She realized that, despite past mistakes, Maggie had always acted out of love and protection for the family. "Mom, I can't change the past, but I can choose what to do with it. I forgive you. Let's find a way to move forward together," Sarah said, embracing Maggie. When the session resumed, Judge Thompson was ready to announce her decision. The courtroom was silent, everyone waiting for the verdict. "After considering all the facts presented, I have decided that custody of Emily will remain with her mother, Sarah Parker. However, I recognize the importance of the bond between Emily and her grandmother. Therefore, I order that regular supervised visits be established to ensure the relationship between Emily and Margaret Johnson continues," the judge declared. The decision brought a mixture of relief and sadness for everyone. Sarah held Emily, feeling a weight lifted off her shoulders, but also knowing that life would never be the same. Maggie, though saddened by not gaining custody, felt a glimmer of hope knowing she could still see and be with Emily. After the trial, life began to find a new balance. Sarah and Maggie worked together to rebuild trust and love in their family. Emily, despite the changes, continued to receive love and support from both her mother and grandmother. The town of Fairview slowly began to accept the truth about Maggie. People realized that despite her past, she had always been a valuable part of the community. Maggie, now living as Helen Adams, found peace in finally confronting her past and building a future with her family. The revelation about Margaret Johnson's true identity as Helen Adams and Judge Thompson's decision brought significant changes to everyone involved. The immediate consequences of the trial began to unfold, deeply affecting the lives of Maggie, Sarah, and Emily. Maggie, now living openly as Helen Adams, tried to adjust to her new reality. Though the truth about her past was exposed, she felt a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. Being honest with herself and her family was a freedom she never imagined experiencing. Sarah worked to rebuild her relationship with her mother. The revelation was shocking, but it also offered an opportunity to understand Maggie's choices better. She knew that, despite everything, Maggie had always acted with the intention of protecting the family. "Mom, I know it hasn't been easy for you to hide all of this. I want you to know that I'm here to support you, just as you always supported me," Sarah said during a moment of reconciliation. Emily continued to visit her grandmother regularly, as ordered by the judge. These visits were supervised, but they still offered the opportunity for Emily and Maggie to maintain their special bond. Emily, with her childlike resilience, showed remarkable strength. "Grandma, I love being with you. No matter what happened before, you'll always be my grandma," Emily said with a sincere smile. David Reed remained a constant support for Maggie. He helped legalize her new identity and clear her name of any remaining accusations. He also became a close family friend, offering guidance and support whenever needed. "Helen, you've shown incredible strength. It's an honor to continue standing by your side on this journey," David said during a visit to the community center. Amanda Davis, although satisfied with the trial's outcome, recognized the importance of the bond between Maggie and Emily. She worked with Sarah to ensure the supervised visits were conducted fairly and compassionately. "Sarah, we'll make sure Emily's visits with her grandmother are positive and meaningful," Amanda assured, showing a more empathetic side. The community of Fairview began to accept the truth about Maggie. Initially shocked, the residents came to realize that she had always been a valuable member of the community. Many offered support and understanding, helping Maggie reintegrate into society. Maggie found strength in facing her past and building a future. She became involved in community activities, sharing her story and helping others learn from her experiences. She became an inspiration to many in the town. "I made mistakes in the past, but everyone deserves a second chance. Life is about learning and growing, and I'm grateful for this opportunity," Maggie said at a community event. Sarah also found new purpose. In rebuilding her relationship with her mother, she realized the importance of forgiveness and moving forward. She began volunteering at a support center for families in crisis, helping other mothers overcome similar challenges. "Life tests us in unexpected ways, but it's how we respond to these challenges that defines who we are," Sarah said during a support session. Emily, surrounded by the love of her mother and grandmother, continued to grow as a happy and balanced child. Despite the recent events, she demonstrated incredible resilience and a heart full of love. The family bond, though tested, emerged stronger than ever. Sarah, Maggie, and Emily learned to cherish each moment together and the importance of unconditional love and forgiveness. Together, they faced their challenges and found a new way to move forward. "We're a family, and nothing can change that. Love is the foundation of everything," Maggie said in a moment of family unity. The truth about Helen Adams brought challenges, but it also provided a new opportunity for Maggie, Sarah, and Emily to rebuild their lives. With the support of the community and their loved ones, each found a path to redemption and personal growth. Maggie, now openly living as Helen Adams, found a new mission in life. She started working at a community center, helping others overcome difficulties similar to those she faced. Her past, once a burden, now served as a lesson and a source of inspiration for many. Each of us has a story, and it's important to learn from our mistakes to move forward. I'm here to help you find a path to redemption, Maggie said during one of her motivational talks. Sarah also discovered a new calling. Inspired by her mother's strength and resilience, she decided to dedicate her life to helping other families. Sarah founded a non-profit organization focused on supporting single mothers and families in crisis, providing both emotional and financial assistance. I've learned that forgiveness and love are essential to overcoming any adversity. I want to help others find that strength within themselves, Sarah declared at a fundraising event. Emily, surrounded by the love of her mother and grandmother, flourished as a happy and confident child. Despite the challenges, she showed remarkable resilience and excelled in school, both academically and in extracurricular activities. Her bond with Maggie remained strong, and she continued to visit her grandmother regularly. "Grandma, I'm so proud of you. You're my hero," Emily told Maggie during a visit to her house. David Reed continued to be a steadfast support for Maggie. He assisted in legally establishing her new identity and clearing her name of any remaining charges. Beyond his legal duties, he became a close family friend, offering guidance and support whenever needed. "Helen, you've demonstrated incredible strength. It's an honor to stand by your side as you move forward," David said during a meeting at the community center. Amanda Davis also experienced a shift in perspective after the case. Witnessing Maggie's strength and resilience, she came to appreciate the importance of compassion and forgiveness in her work. Amanda began taking on pro bono cases, helping families in difficult situations. Each case is an opportunity to make a difference. "I've learned that compassion is as important as justice," Amanda reflected in an interview with the local newspaper. The community of Fairview embraced Maggie, now Helen, as one of their own. Over time, the gossip and judgment gave way to respect and admiration. Helen became a central figure in the town, known for her wisdom and ability to inspire others. "We all make mistakes, but it's how we respond to them that defines us." Helen is an example of redemption and strength, a local resident commented during a community event. The community center where Helen worked grew and thrived. Thanks to her efforts, many lives were transformed. Helen developed support programs, therapy groups, and workshops that helped many find their way. Sarah and Helen, now closer than ever, collaborated on several community projects. The relationship between mother and daughter, once shaken by the revelation, strengthened with time and mutual effort to forgive and understand. "Mom, we're stronger together. Thank you for never giving up on us," Sarah said at one of the organization's events. Emily, growing up in an environment of love and support, developed a passion for helping others. Inspired by her mother and grandmother, she started participating in volunteer projects and expressed a desire to pursue a career in social work in the future. "I want to be like my mom and grandma. I want to help people find hope and happiness," Emily said during a school volunteer project. The main message of the story was clear to all. Forgiveness, love, and resilience are key to overcoming any adversity. Helen, Sarah, and Emily demonstrated that, even in the face of the greatest challenges, it is possible to find strength and redemption when there is mutual love and support. Did you enjoy this heartwarming story of overcoming and revelation? What would you do if you were in Maggie's place? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more impactful stories. Together, we can inspire and transform lives. The truth always finds its way, and you won't want to miss the next revelation. As we look back on the journey of Maggie, Sarah, and Emily, we're reminded of the incredible power of truth, love, and resilience. The revelation of Helen Adams' true identity brought a whirlwind of emotions and challenges, yet it also provided a path to redemption and deeper family bonds. Maggie's transformation from a figure shrouded in mystery to a beacon of strength and honesty is a testament to the human spirit's capacity for growth and change. Her willingness to face the past, her courage to tell the truth, and her commitment to her family's well-being illustrate that even the most guarded secrets can lead to profound healing and connection. Sarah's journey underscores the importance of forgiveness and the strength found in familial love. Despite the turmoil, she chose to stand by her mother, finding a new purpose in helping others who face similar struggles. Emily, the innocent heart at the center of this story, embodies the purity of unconditional love and the wisdom that often comes with youth. Her acceptance and continued love for her grandmother, regardless of past revelations, inspire us to embrace compassion and understanding in our own lives. This story reminds us that every challenge we face can become an opportunity for growth and that the bonds of family, though tested, can endure and strengthen. The truth, no matter how painful, holds the potential to set us free and pave the way for new beginnings. In the end, it is love, above all, that binds us together and guides us through the trials of life. Did you enjoy this heartwarming story of overcoming and revelation? What would you do if you were in Maggie's place? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more impactful stories. Together, we can inspire and transform lives. Remember, the truth always finds its way, and you won't want to miss the next revelation.